What's up, guys? We're going to be going through the process of making an adapter. Someone just sent in their gun, and we're going to go through the whole process from beginning to end. This is the Umarex blaster. It looks like a Nerf gun, but it's an airsoft gun. Apparently, it used to be a gel blaster, and people liked it so much, so they made one for airsoft. This is just hilarious. Super light. It's just like a piece of plastic.
How much do you think it weighs?
Oh, probably like, honestly, probably like less than a pound. Coming in at 28 ounces. So that's a pound and a bit. This thing is so freakishly light. And then here's the magazine. Massive hunk-a-chunk. Just goes in right there. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're using a desktop 3D scanner. And we're going to coat this in a white material so that it comes out looking like this, so that the scanner picks it up. You can buy professional grade scanning material, but we're actually just going to be using this Lotrimin. It's super cheap. You can buy it at your Publix or any other.
I think I see it at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods, and it gives it the perfect white sheen. So we're just going to spray the top of this. I already know that my clearance line is going to be this little line right here. So really anything below that isn't as important as right on the top there. So generally when you're spraying and even like spray painting and things, hit your edges first because the big open areas will get filled in with material by themselves. So you can see that the material is reacting and turning white. We're also already working with a bright color, orange, so if it doesn't cover it all, it's still okay. We'll pick it all up. All right, now that the part is scanned, we're going to put it into the scanner with that piece being somewhat in the center and overlap, making sure that it won't run into the wall or anything like that. And we also don't want it to move, so I want it to be balanced. Now I'll start my scan, and you'll see that the scanner is now basically, it has two different eyeballs at different angles, and it sees the lines from both cameras and is able to infer the depth, and that's how it scans an object. So after we scan the model, we need to turn it into a parametric model. And so here we're reversing the model and basically telling the computer what the features are. Here's a circle, here's a flat face, here's a square. And then from there, we can take the model into Fusion. After we reverse it and it's in Fusion, we're now going to be adding our specific features for the modular adapter. And we're defining clearance lines, places that we can build stuff, and we're adding all of the internal components and stuff that turns it from a magazine into an adapter. So once the adapter is completely modeled, we'll then move it into preform, and then we can there choose the material that we want to print with, choose the printer. So for this material, we're just going to print in our fast resin. That's going to be like the first prototype iteration. We don't want to necessarily spend a lot of time prototyping. You can see this is only going to take 30 minutes and then we'll have a part. So I want the top face to be clean, and I do want some dimensional accuracy here. So I'm just going to tip the model a little bit and run some supports. I like to do smaller touch points because then it doesn't affect the model as much. All right, so there we have it. Let's send it to the printer. So we printed the part in our fast resin and did some tests there, but now we've printed it in the SLS machine because we believe that we're at the final version. So it's in this powder bed. And we're gonna take it out and put it into the sift. And normally we would process the whole build, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna pull out the part that we want, if it's cool enough. So we can see here, normally it's at 42. That's still an all right temperature, but normally we'd wait a little bit longer. But for the sake of this video, we're not going to. So we're just gonna be getting rid of some of this stuff. So there's gonna be parts in here, right? And we're gonna have someone else process that stuff. But I'm just going to be looking around for the one part that we want, which is the Umarex blaster. And I think that this is it.
Yep, that's it. So I'm gonna quickly get some of the material off of here. So we've cleaned out the part for the most of it, and we're gonna throw it in here in our sand blaster.
You're saying you cleaned out the part for the most part?
Yeah, we cleaned it for the most part. We cleaned the part for the most part. Normally we tumble it and all that jazz, but I only have one piece, so we're gonna be quick with it. Reach my hands in here. So that's just gonna be blasting away all the material, excess material that we don't want in the part. So, let's see how that goes. There's our finished part. This is the adapter for the Humorex blaster. We just cleaned it out, so let's put it together and see how it does. So we've got the adapter printed out. We went through a couple versions. As you can see, a couple in fast and then a couple in nylon until we get to this. And then when we can insert that in the gun, goes right in. So now this is our modular version. You can see the actual lower part sticks out. But if you get a pro version, then that is where we can actually work this section of it into the upper portion of the adapter. So you're really getting something that meshes with the rest of the gun and makes it look a lot more streamlined. But this is a good first test so that we can see how this thing functions, and we're gonna get shooting on this. This is the Humorex blaster with our M4 adapter. If there's any more guns that you guys want to see adapters for or see us build adapters, let us know in the comments below.